First thing to say about Bitmoji classrooms is how amazing the community of teachers all over the world has been to support each other in dealing with how education is changing right now and how we're reacting to the pandemic everywhere. And Bitmoji classrooms is just one of those ways. So the idea is that you can take your Bitmoji, which comes from Snapchat, or any avatar. You can make a little version of yourself, a cartoon, and making a virtual classroom. And then in that way, kids are able to interact with the room, see a little bit of your personality. You can hyperlink everything in there, and it just gives you one place for all the kids to come together, to get resources for the class, to see what's on the daily schedule. And it's usually not just one classroom or one, they're usually made on Google Slides, actually. So this is what I have that the kids would see.
Okay.
So since we're hybrid, I have kids who are at school Monday, Wednesday. So at home on Tuesday, Thursday, they'll be doing their own work. So I made this room to be a place, as you can see, where the kids will go for their at-home learning assignments. And they can click objects all around the room to be able to complete their assignments. When they click on Monday, Tuesday, it takes them to their Google Classroom assignment. That'll follow. And so I also take the idea of the Bitmoji classroom and we made little slides for them. So for this week, there's my kids. This is another avatar making app called Pixton, which is a whole other story, but also amazing. And I can give them just some tips and the objectives for that week that we're working on. And then I created a little schedule, which I told them they don't have to follow, but that just would keep them on a good routine while at home. And so everything, all their assignments for the days are linked, and they can click on them. It'll take you places. If we do the writing prompt for that day, it's actually just a link on the next slide. And so the kids can read about their writing prompt and write it on the next slide and just be really immersive. Since we're hybrid, we have work on paper that we do. Mm-hmm. But for the kids who aren't here on Monday, who are virtual on Monday, I can't give them the physical paper unless I'm a excellent prepared teacher and pass it on Friday, which I have not been yet. Hopefully I will get there. So instead, I can screen grab their assignment and post it on here. And so I can just put it on the slide and make it editable. Lots of stuff.
Sorry to interrupt, but is this all, is this a shared document between all of the students, or is it each student gets their own document?
Luckily for me, Google Classroom actually does that for you. So I upload it to my Google Classroom page, and then there's a little box when I first uploaded that says students can view the file or make a copy for each student. So each student does get their own and submits it to me.
Well, this seems like a really intuitive way to do this. Like I'm like, it looks like it makes sense.
Yeah.
So
and that's what fourth graders need for sure.
Yes. And how did you learn to do this? Was this something that you did on your own, or is there a resource for teachers out there that kind of can tell teachers how to do this?
Well, the only resource for teachers out there that is actually applicable and helpful is other teachers. So there are a couple Facebook pages, and lots of teachers have side hustles, I would call them, as they're like teacher blogs, where they post a lot of materials. And so the one that I'm in, I think it's called the Bitmoji Craze for Educators. People were just sharing free resources and examples of classrooms. They had made the assignment slide. I tried a couple methods, and I kind of came to this on my own with a couple of teachers at my school personally. I had done just a checklist, like on a Word document, and it was a little too much. It was too wordy, too straight graphic, or not graphic. It was just too wordy and too much to look at one time. So instead, it made a lot more sense to make slides for it that were similar to the Bitmoji classroom and just link it up to there. So it's been a hybrid of just teachers I work with and teachers being amazing and giving out free resources and ideas online.
Well, that's excellent. If any teachers watching this have any questions, would it be all right if they contacted you, or is there a way that they can reach out? and ask you about how you did this?
Yeah, absolutely. I would not mind at all making a copy. I've sent this exact same thing to several teachers that I work with, and they've edited the same thing the same way. The only thing I would say is on all these Facebook pages that are, of course, free to join, there's so many people who've done so many better than me. So that kind of, I've saved like a ton of them. There's like so many templates people have. There's something called, which I could send this. I would want to give credit where credit is due, but there's a, let's see if I can find it. It's called the Giant Bitmoji Classroom. Yeah, here it is. So this woman, her Bitmoji, this woman and a bunch of others have made a library with a table of contents to make your own Bitmoji classroom. So here you see like miscellaneous, outdoors. So this is how I built mine, because it's so hard to find transparent items to actually make these rooms and like make it so that there's a plant back here that's linked to YouTube and a plant over here and your desk and your chair. So this thing, they have everything.